Thank you. What I would love to hear is a rampage of appreciation on forward feeling. When I listen to some of the other CDs, like there's one out of San Francisco where this one woman had this home and everything, and she was retired. You did a rampage of appreciation about it, and I listened to that countlessly. And as I am wanting to forward feel, I'm working on a website, and I'm going to be working with myself and other people, but I would love to be able to continue and find the means and the ways of, you've laid out the structures, but now I really, really want to get into that feeling place. It creates a springboard for me.
We started from the awareness that my emotions tell me about the vibrational relationship I've got going on. That's what emotions are. And usually when something happens, you have a reaction to it. And we do not see that you would want, or that you have anyway, to not be reactive to life. We just want you to be consciously aware that you are reactive to life. And then as soon as you're aware that you're reactive to life, then be proactive about it. Then be deliberate about it. So when you ask us to do a rampage of appreciation, we have to acknowledge that only a person who's in the vortex and in vibrational alignment with who they really are can benefit by a rampage of appreciation. Because if you attempt a rampage of appreciation in order to try to fix a negative emotion that you have, all that happens is, because the frequencies are so far apart, you just aggravate where you are in a stronger way. So we want to precede this conversation by saying that an intention, as Jerry was demonstrating these cards, we have been suggesting that you take them or something like them with you when you go into the vortex. Your effective rampages of appreciation all happen from inside the vortex. You don't use them as a way to get into the vortex. You use them as a way to practice the vibration once you're already in there, to sustain it longer, but more than to sustain it, to practice it, to make it more identifiable, to give it more airtime, to make it more likely, to change expectation, to change vibrational resonance, to receive the benefit of alignment, to receive the benefit of the leverage of being a cooperative component. So you want to use it to prolong being there and to practice the vibration of being there. The next thing that we want to say is there are many things that can lead you there. And they don't have to be necessarily the process that we are teaching. We've been encouraging Esther to bask her way to sleep. And her slumber has been so much richer and so much deeper and so much more restful. In other words, the distinction that we're making between basking and appreciating is basking is just deliberately looking for pleasant things in the immediate vicinity. In other words, just acknowledging, just bask. Bask on what's easy to bask about. Start with easy things. So by basking to sleep and then appreciating when she wakes up, it's a really good launching into then doing some focus wheels, which get the momentum going even more. Because once you get a focus wheel going, there is a synergistic springboard that happens from it. And if you've done an effective focus wheel where you have known what you don't want and launched in what you do want, have you watched the acrobat who just comes on the stage and jumps from where he is, compared to the acrobat who jumps maybe off of a platform onto something that bounces him further? In other words, there's a bounce that you get. There's a bounce that you get in knowing what you don't want. And so that focus wheel is part of that bounce. In other words, I know what I don't want, and what I do want is already launched. And then when you make the effort to get in sync with that energy that is already in motion, you feel some momentum from it. And from that momentum, that's the perfect momentum to go into a list of positive aspects. aspects. And a list of positive aspects is the perfect momentum to go into a rampage of appreciation. And by rampage we mean just sort of letting it take you away, just milking it, even irrationally milking it. Jerry and Esther laugh sometimes because they'll get into some conversations where they're rampaging about the well-being of some subject or another, and one or the other of them will say to the other, if anyone was ever listening to us, they would think that we were out of our mind, because we are just deliberately milking this for all it's worth. And we say it's worth really, really a lot. You know the benefit of momentum. Have you ever tried to push a car that was stopped? You put it in neutral or put it out of gear. Jerry and Esther do that a little bit every time they hook up their tow car, because they like to push it back so that the hitch locks into place. There are some extension arms. And sometimes, depending on where it is, it's really hard to push. And other times it's really easy to push, depending upon what's going on. If you've ever tried to push a car, even one on level ground, at first it's harder, but as momentum begins to happen, it gets easier and easier. So that's the rampage of appreciation idea. You've already got momentum going, and now you're benefiting by the momentum that you have going and adding to it, all for the purpose of practicing a vibration longer so that it will be easier for you to find that vibration later. Because when you focus upon a thought, you activate it. If you hold the thought longer, it becomes more active in the sense that law of attraction brings other thoughts that match it to it. So now you've got a bigger energy moving. If you stay with it longer and return to it daily and think about it frequently, now it's a chronic thought. Now it's a dominant thought. That's what a belief is. A belief is just a thought you keep thinking. So as you train yourself to feel forward, so that you're not just believing, but knowing who you are. When you know, because you've practiced it, that well-being is yours, then anything that you might observe that is the opposite of well-being won't be but a little glitch, just a momentary glitch in your vibration. You won't get carried away in it, because the dominant vibration within you, the chronic vibration within you, the practiced vibration within you is something so stable and so secure that you don't lose your balance. And then and really only then, are you happy to go out in the world, anywhere in the world, knowing your well-being. In other words, if you don't know your well-being, if you feel vulnerable, your life gets narrower and narrower and narrower. As you say to your children, don't go there and don't go there and don't talk to them and watch out for that and don't watch that program. And what you teach your children is to diminish their life, because when you understand that what's out there will give them a bounce, and if you believe in their well-being, we talked about believing in that which you're wanting to teach, believe in your children's ability to believe in their well-being, because you believe in yours and demonstrate it all day, every day. That's the reason that we would rampage. In fact, we just did rampage. We'll do plenty of that as we're moving forward on whatever subject it is appropriate for.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.